Hello, all you wonderful people of the interwebs. I am the Zodiac Lord, and I am back for another video. And if you've watched any of my videos ever, you probably know that this sounds a little different than usual. So if you didn't know, my birthday was yesterday, September 1st, and I'm now 17. Woo, party, I can go to adult jail. But I got a microphone. An actual proper microphone. For those of you who don't know, for the longest time, I have just used this little built-in microphone on my laptop. There's just like a little tiny hole on my computer on like the keyboard that picks up noise. So, which is honestly, it wasn't terrible for what it was, in all honesty. I mean, if you, in all honesty, just from what I've seen, it seems to work a lot better than some like actual proper microphones, and it sometimes sounds a lot better. And obviously not the best thing in the world, but I mean, for what it is, it was pretty snazzy, you know. But this one's an actual like proper microphone, so my voice will hopefully be clearer and be better, easier to listen to or something. And then you can hear the ghosts now because it's a pretty sensitive microphone. So yeah, it's a Yeti, a blue Yeti microphone kind of thing. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And if you ever hear anything, like if I sound like too loud, too quiet, if you think that some adjustments need to be made, please let me know. I'm kind of new to this, so you know. I would definitely love to know if there are adjustments that need to be made, so I can make your viewing/listening experience the best it can be. But yeah, so enough of that. Let's talk about the drawing, shall we? So since my birthday was yesterday, I thought something that could be kind of cool is if I redrew an old art picture for my birthday, because I wanted to find some way to announce to YouTube like, yo, hi, it's my birthday, you know. And I thought one of the coolest little ways to do it would be to redraw something for my birthday. And so I looked through my pictures and I found this one from back in January 2016. So about a year and 9 months ago or so. And I thought it would be a really good one because when I did this picture, the old one, I was really, really proud of it. Like I was super proud of it, and I feel like I had good reason to be. My art style was not what it is today. My art wasn't the best thing in the world, and so for the timing of what it was, this was actually pretty good, I think, in comparison to my art style at the time. Or quality, I guess I should say, not art style. What am I talking about? It's the second time recording this, and I can't even talk right. But I'm still like rather impressed by this picture because I also did it on a very crappy iPad in VideoPad with one of the rubber styluses. And I don't even think I did it with the rubber stylus. I think a lot of it was actually done with my finger. So in all honesty, like, for the context of the picture, it's a very impressive picture for like the timing of what it was. So I thought, you know what? Let's redraw it. Let's do it in Photoshop. Let's do it with my tablet. Let's do it with my current art ability. And here I am. So Spectrum Redraw. And I love how this picture came out. I love this picture to death, in all honesty. I love how it came out. I love the hair. I love the colors. I love the shading and stuff like that. I love how it all came out, and I'm very proud and pleased with this picture. So yeah, I definitely think you can tell like some of the biggest improvements was with the lighting of the picture, with like the lighting on the hair, making the hair actually look like it's glowing, having a much better grasp on like shading. Like in the original picture, it almost kind of looks like the hair has a different light source than the skin and the head. So for this one, had definitely a much better grasp on like light source and stuff like that. And I definitely think just in general, the colors look a lot nicer, like especially on the background. Like if you look at the background of the old one, it's not a very pleasing color, in all honesty. It's kind of just an ugly color looking back on it. And I think the colors used now for like the background stuff like that look a lot nicer. And I also, like, while doing it, I wanted to experiment with, like, I thought, hey, I think it would look kind of cool if I gave her some like rainbow iridescent looking freckles. And so I tried doing that at the beginning. I didn't like how they looked, but then I like, okay, let me just shade this whole thing and I'll come back and I'll add them in again and see how it looks. And that's what I did, and I think they turned out looking very nice. And you can tell that, like, the difference between me back then versus me now, and my addiction to adding sparkle effects and other going all out with flipping multiply and overlay layers. I mean, oh man, I enjoy that. But so, you know, I just think overall it's just I'm very pleased with how it came out, in all honesty. And I definitely think I improved quite a lot from my art looked like way back then, and I'm going to use that as a bridge to something else I want to talk about, and I'm going to get kind of personal, I guess, with you guys, because I'm going to have a video at some point. It's going to be a different kind of video where I want to look at a bunch of my old art that you can't even find on my DeviantArt because I've stored it away because I don't want to look at it anymore. Like artwork back from when I was like 14, 15 years old. And I want to look at it because I feel like a lot of these redrawings, like I always love looking at these redrawings, in all honesty, not my own, but like just going around just looking at like draw this again and all that other kind of stuff. And the reason why is because I feel like there's, especially with younger artists, that there's like some kind of idea in their minds that like these good artists are just born this way, that they're good at this kind of thing, and that's just how they are, and that they were born this way, and that they'll never be as good as their favorite artist or their inspiration because they're not as good as them now. And it kind of makes me sad to see that kind of mindset because, yes, I don't want to say I'm the best at art, but I will say that I definitely think I'm good at it. And it's something I'm passionate about, you know? But I didn't just wake up one day and I was this good at art, you know? The only reason I even have the audacity to say that I'm good at art is because I've worked so hard at it, and I can look back at what I used to think and say, yeah, I'm so much better than I used to be. In fact, that's the thing with many things. Like there are people who can pick up a pencil or pick up a musical instrument and they can learn it faster, or they get good at it faster. I like to think that I have improved at art a lot bit faster than some other people do, and that's not an ego thing, it's just a speculation kind of thing. I see some people who have been doing it for years and they're still like, and they improve very gradually. Meanwhile, you can see a big difference between like art that I do now and art from 2 years ago. So like you can see a big difference from art from a year ago. And so I do think I improve fast, but a lot of people seem to think that it's only ever talent. But in reality, no one is born good at something like this. No one. It takes practice. And I know it's like it's the cheesiest advice in the world. Like, it takes practice. Practice makes perfect. You know, but it's so much truer than you can imagine. The only reason that good artists are as good as they are is because they found something that they love, they found something they're passionate about, they cared enough about it to want to get better, they actively tried to get better, and one of the biggest things is they accepted that they weren't getting better right away and didn't let it stop them. which is another thing I see. I see it all the time. I'll see people who, you'll see it a lot with younger people, and you get both like stuff where you feel kind of bad, and you get stuff where it's like, oh my God, please be quiet. You know, kind of the annoying kind of thing. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But there's people who think like, well, I've been doing this for a year and my art hardly looks like it's changed at all. And whether it has or hasn't, whether it has and you can't notice or it genuinely hasn't, the thing is, you're not going to see your results right away. Some people are going to improve faster than others, and some people it takes a long time. But you can't see someone else who kind of got lucky and think that if that doesn't happen to me, then it's hopeless, because it's not. There are people who don't draw their entire lives and then in their 30s decide, you know, I want to pick up painting, and they become some of the best painters in the world. It happens. And it takes practice and dedication. And something with anything art related, this has to go for like any kind of art form, not just like pencil, paper, drawing kind of thing. I mean like writing, acting, like singing, music, anything that has to do with, that falls in the category of art. If you don't love doing it, then don't waste your time doing it. Because in all honesty, you can't expect to do something you don't love and expect to get good at it. Like really good at it, you know? And all I can tell you is that I want people, especially younger people, even if they know that their art is bad and they're aware of it, to still love what they make and enjoy the process of doing it. I see so many people who get so wrapped up in the idea of, if I'm not good, then like my art is terrible, and that like I can't love my art unless it's good. In reality, be proud of what you make. You can even be proud of what you make and think, you know what, this is not my best work, but I learned something from it. There's practice. It has a point. There was something, you know, it had a purpose. It contributed something to your development, whether it be small or major, you know? Don't look at good artists and think, well, I'm not as good as them, therefore I will never be that good, because that's not true. I mean, do you really think that I woke up one day and I'm just like, oh, well, here I am, guess I'm good at art now? Like, it took years, and even as a kid, because I've been drawing my whole life, but in all honesty, I only got good when I made the conscious decision to get good. Made a conscious decision to start looking at what other artists were doing, to start finding my flaws in my art, and you know, saying, okay, that's an issue, how do I work on it? Hey, I'm bad at this, why don't I do it, you know, and try to get good at it. Arts doesn't come naturally. Like, and it comes easier to some people. Any kind of art will come easier to some people and harder for others. But that doesn't mean you can't be good at it. You just have to be willing to put in the work, have the passion and drive to do it, and have the pride in what you create, and know that one day you're going to be so much better than you are now, and you're going to look back on your old art and think like, wow, if I didn't decide to draw this because I knew it would be terrible, then I wouldn't be where I was. We all have to fall, and we all have to be bad before we can be good, you know? And that goes for most things in life. We have to learn, and to do that, we have to step out there and be ready to embrace ourselves for the good, the bad, the easy, and the hard that comes with anything that we do, especially when it comes to any kind of art form. So, and I hope that, like, my journey on here, and hell, I mean, go back and look at the very first speed paints I uploaded. They look a lot different than my art now, don't they? I hope that I can inspire people and show people that you don't need to be good now to be good at what you do one day. You don't, just because you're not born with a paintbrush in hand to create any kind of art. Just because you're good at one art but you can't do another, that doesn't mean you can't. You just have to have the desire to do it. And I hope you all can follow, all of you who are following me on this adventure of YouTube can see what I do and see my improvement and see kind of my growth in what I do and take something from that. Take and use it to motivate you in some way, you know? Learn something from it, you know? That's, so yeah, that's all I have to say for that. Sentimental life lessons on Zodiac's birthday. Yeah. Oh, goodness. I swear, I have so many topics I could go in, and I just sound like, and now this is super clear, so I sound like very sincere and sentimental and very, very calm and tranquil and life lessons. Ooh. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this. There's going to be the music version, so, you know, all that fun stuff, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And let me know what you think of my microphone. But yeah, so that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this commentary paint featuring a brand new microphone, and I will see you in the next video, whatever it may be. Zodiac out.